leadership is one that this nation and the world needs. It is a modern thing, but it is also a cultural context. We also have leadership. In the modern nation, we have people being elected. In the modern context, we have organizations that are set up the structure, and the boss is the leader, and everybody follows down there. We have leadership in areas where we call autocratic, where the king is the leader, and everybody just follows, nobody has anything against. We have other leaders where you have a structure and the boss is the leader, and we have leaders where people elect, like the politicians we have. We have different types of leaders where, going back to our culture, I think many of us are Highlanders here, so you would understand. In our setting, I never remember our people, my father and my people, my tribesmen come together to elect a leader. I've never seen one. I don't know if the Western Highlanders do that. I don't think the Kapuans do that as well. I understand in the central province or in the coast, they are inherited leadership. But generally, everywhere in the country, our fathers never elect leaders. But we had commanders of the army, we had politicians, we had engineers who are leaders in the trade, we had people who become leaders as a result of their trades and their gifting. And nobody elects them, nobody appoints them, nobody chooses them, but they just come up to be leaders. I am reminded that all of us are leaders. All of us are leaders. When God created us, He had big purpose in our lives, or He has, and in that purpose is a gifting, and when you pursue that gifting, when you sharpen that gifting, you become a leader. And that is how our fathers used to recognize leaders. Today we have a bit of shifting in the modern context, because you become educated, you get promoted, you get by some nepotism or some skill sets of some sort, and you become leaders. So basically, that's leadership. So that is the topic that we have. 7 leadership character traits. That's the discussion I want to do tonight, because basically leadership is about character, right? But generally, in talking about character and 7 leadership, I want to bring out why Jesus is a perfect model of a servant leader. And that is why we must learn, if we want to practice servant leadership, we should learn from the Lord Himself. In trying to understand what leadership is, leadership is not about titles or positions, and our fathers did not really practice leadership well. but today it is convoluted. Leadership is, in a nutshell, basically influencing one by another and to pursue something that is a goal together. James Ozars and Barry Posner are one of the two authors. They say a leader is someone whose direction you would want to follow. A leader is someone you want to follow. He or she is basically a leader. If you are following somebody, you make that person a leader. If somebody is following you, you become a leader. Not because of position, not because of authority, but because you are able to influence the person, or he is able to influence his leadership. According to John Maxwell, leadership is nothing but influence. So that's general leadership. Let's talk about servant leadership. Now, in trying to talk about servant leadership, CPN wants to develop the content to provide, especially coaching and training young people to be leaders. Or not to be leaders, but bring out the leadership in them. Like I said, everyone is a leader. So if we understand what we have to become a leader, then we will appreciate it. Now, as you go on, you probably will pick up. So this is some of the slides that I have to show you that indicate the idea about servant leadership. Martin Luther King says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? So servant leadership is about serving others. As we know, Martin Luther King was one of the 7 leaders. He actually gave his life for the people. So as Nelson Mandela. So these are people, they were not elected by the followers, but because of their own heart, because of their character traits, they qualify to lead. And as a result, they lead selfless lives. And the other one we have is, good leaders must become good servants. And that's it. The guy who coined servant leadership in modern context. So today we are talking servant leadership in the books. People are writing about it. There's a lot of research going on. The guy who coined that idea of servant leadership, the philosophy of servant leadership in the modern context, is this guy, Robert. So I'll tell you a story, how he got this one. How he ended up writing and influencing the world today on servant leadership. Back in around 1932, there's a story written, a novel by a guy named Hesse. And the novel is about a group of philosophers, thinkers, artists, going on a journey. The title of the book is called Journey to the East. Journey to the East. And one of the characters there, or the narrator, is by the name of only initial H. And he narrates journey to the east is kind of a fulfillment, a spiritual journey. Going nowhere, somewhere, anywhere. On the journey, he joins a team. The group is called League. League is a special group, secret society group, comprised of thinkers, philosophers, writers, and they go on a journey. Among them is a servant. And the servant happened to, all of them, all of their educated there, eternity there, all of them, big guys. The servant seemed to know things. They get each other away, and the servant seemed to know how to give medication, give treatment, dress a sore. This servant, somehow they are along the way, they get into trouble, and the servant seems to know something. And he is able to step in every time they get into trouble. And the journey continues. Sometime later, the seventh name happened to be Leo. So Leo disappears. Leo disappears, and then all of a sudden, the team begins to disintegrate. They seem to have no idea what to do. They get into trouble, nobody is there to help them. Somehow they get into injury, somehow they're hungry, and the servant, Leo, was the one who was able to feed them, somebody who was able to do something. He simply had all answers for these guys. But when he disappears, everything disintegrates. The journey comes to a halt. And then they go the onwards. So many years pass. The narrator ends up finding Leo and then takes him back to the group. Later find out that Leo actually was the leader. So this story inspired Robert Greenleaf to begin writing the idea about servant leadership. So he reads the book and he coined servant leadership. So today you hear servant leadership everywhere. There's a lot of research going on, and the answer today, the modern research, is really focused on servant leadership because all the qualities and the traits that servant leadership possess to actually change the way the system works and the world works. So that is the first story on how servant leadership came about. So he talks about, in his book, he wrote the book in 1977. And there are 10 things, characters that he talks about, and many of them continue to elaborate on that. So listening is one of them. Being able to listen. Now his motivation or his literally drawn from the story, the novel by Hesse. So there are 10 things there. Empathy, I will not explain on it because I'll come to the other slide and I'll get details on it. Healing is being able to help somebody heal, right? Talk to them, be nice to them. People come with problems, people come with all kinds of things. So as a leader, you begin to sit down and be able to provide the counseling for the person to get healed in either whatever the circumstances they're coming through. Awareness, persuasion in leadership, persuasion in servant leadership. You have no authority over anyone. You have no control power over anyone. All you have is your ability to persuade. If you can persuade, if the person is convinced, then he becomes or she becomes a follower. That is the basis of servant leadership. The next one is conceptualizing, or we call it big picture thinking, or today we also say vision. So you're thinking concept, you're thinking big picture, you're thinking dreams, you're thinking vision, and able to communicate the vision to the followers, and they're able to follow. And we talk about foresight. Foresight is where someone has intuition to think and be able to act appropriately, where they have the experience of the past, they know the situation today, and they are able to calculate what's going to come next. That's intuition, that's foresight. Stewardship or faithfulness, we can come to that later. Commitment to growth of people. Again, focuses on people and then building communities. So these are 10 things that Robert Greenleaf developed. Character traits he believed were the right that makes a servant leader. Now, for me, that's a bit. That's the way the world's going to develop that. But I want to talk about another guy. This guy. Learning from Jesus Christ, to me, he is the epitome of servant leadership. He is the brand. He is the one to follow. He possesses the qualities and the characters and everything we want. And if we see that, he has, so there's that one picture there. There are a couple of stories. One of them is the story. This story happened 2,000 years ago, or probably 2020. One day, his ministry is coming to an end. It's getting close. So on a Thursday night, he calls his disciples and they go and have a meal for the Last Supper. Now that time is a big day according to the Jewish calendar. It's a Passover day, right? So they come around, going to the house and having the Passover. In the house, according to the culture, there should be a servant. But there's no servants. So Jesus himself decides to become a servant. there, there's John there, there's James there. Judas there. And he takes his outer coat off. He puts on a towel, wraps himself around, gets a bucket of water, dish of water, sits down and says, James, come. And he starts washing the feet. And John, come. Judas, he knows that tomorrow he's going to betray him tonight. I said, come. And he starts washing the feet. And he calls on Peter. Peter, you can come. And Peter says, no, not my feet. You can't wash my feet. No, you can't. And Jesus, I'm just paraphrasing. He says, you don't know what you're asking for. And then Peter is going, oh, okay. You want to wash my feet? You wash my body too. Wash my hands too. And then Jesus responds, everybody's okay. Everybody's clean. But the feet is dirty. He washes them all. Washing feet, according to the custom, your people are preachers and pastors and everybody. But I'm talking in the leadership context, so just humble yourself up. In the servant is a person who washes the feet. And is the lowest among that group. So Jesus becomes the lowest amongst the group. There is this other story where, come along, I think this is Timmy's wife, for his two sons. The mother comes over and says, Jesus, can you make my two sons, one can sit on my right and the other one can sit not on your right and the other one on your left? And Jesus said, you don't know what you're asking for. He has no idea. And he says, if you don't be the first, you must be the last. So Jesus reset the thinking, the cultural mindset. And that's servant leadership, the reverse way of leadership. In servant leadership, leaders stay at the bottom and the people stay at the top. In modern leadership, in our systems, the way it works, leaders at the top and everybody carries the leader. Thousands of them can carry. In the electric out of it, 30,000-40,000 people, they can carry the leader out there. But the leader wants, in the servant leadership context, he goes right at the bottom, and the middle management stays next, and the people that they're serving stays on top. That's leadership. And he's got another third one, where I think some of his disciples were arguing about who should be the greatest. And Jesus comes along and says the same thing. If you want to be the greatest, you must serve. You must be the last. So for me, Robert Greenlee coined servant leadership in 1977. But servant leadership was a new thing. It was right renewals. Jesus did it. Jesus was the pioneer of it. So these are the two stories. I want to touch on character being the heart of leadership. 7 leaders is about character. 7 leadership is about character. I just got 2 slides. One is integrity. There are plenty of words that we use. In the word integrity, there is think of fairness, respect, honesty, and trustworthiness. Integrity is when your values, your beliefs, your actions, and your words come together. That's integrity. Values, beliefs, actions, words agree. Integrity is when your inside life is same as the outside life. When your workplace life is the same as the house life. When your public life is same as your private life. There is no 2 lives. There is only one life, and that's integrity. Today we have many problems with this. People I hear say impeccable integrity. Men of impeccable integrity. And then you say, this is private life, don't talk about it. Let's focus on the public life. No! Whatever is happening in the private life is the thing that is affecting the public life. So if we're talking about integrity, integrity is about wholeness. One unit. You know computers. If something goes wrong on your computer sometimes, you see the computer puts up and says, integrity check. Have you seen the law? It means the computer is telling you there are some potential holes or cracks or spots damages on its storage, so it's actually ticking. So if there is a part that is damaged, the integrity is compromised. Integrity is completeness. 1, 2. So inside and outside, upside and downside, public side and private side, all one. So when you have integrity, you have fairness. Honesty comes with it. People are able to trust you, and they're able to listen to you, and they are following you because they can see that you carry yourself according to what you say and how you live. Your life speaks more than your words. Somebody said, I can't hear what you say because who you are is actually distracting. So number 1, servant leadership, the character trait that we are looking for is integrity. Integrity is a big word, and it has a lot of meaning to it. But what it is your values. Values are things that you believe what you believe are true, good for you, and you're holding on to them. Whether they are biblical, whether they are influenced from your culture, or education, or your family, or your community, those are values. And you think that they are good for you, and you use them, and your character, or your life, or your behavior is affected by those values. So what you value, plus your words, agree with your action, and that's integrity. Second is this one. I want to touch. In here, a lot of things. You pick up Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. You see these things. A lot of things that are mentioned here. But the first of all, you see that other than love is at the bottom. So again, you people are preachers and too many pastors said so much thing about love, and you know so much about love. But according to the word love has 4 meanings. I think according to Greek. One of them is called agape. Agape is the God's love. The other is the family love, filial, or stoic. The marital love, and the brotherly love. What you call it? Filial love. So the agape love is the one that is interesting to me. And that is the one we need in this world. Because that's the one that Jesus demonstrated. That's the one that Jesus shows. With agape love, it is no condition. You know that. Agape love does not come with a condition. With other love, always connects conditions. You do good, we are good. As long as we trust you, you're doing fine, love exists. As long as wife and husband trust each other, the love exists. As long as brothers trust each other, the brotherly love exists. With agape, no, there's nothing to do with trust. It's nothing to do with conditions. And I might also say, it has no emotions as well. Emotions in agape come later. It's interesting. God tells you to love your neighbor. What if your neighbor is an enemy? You need to feel into love, right? You need to feel happy to love. But Jesus said, forgive your He said, forgive your enemy. Love your enemy, he said. So how do you love an enemy? God loves us regardless of some people cursing him. How does God do that? God loves that person who is ready to destroy the world. How does he do that? Jesus, even washed Judas's feet. Although the next morning he's going to bring the soldiers to kill him. See, ladies and gentlemen, agape love is purposeful love. It is actually driven from a higher purpose. That's why you just have to love regardless of the feelings. Regardless of how you feel, you have to let it go. And then the emotions will come. And then the relationship come. First, you have to let it go. It's a powerful thing, right? It's nothing to do with how you feel and I need to be happy first, Lord, give me, joy when I can forgive. No. So go ahead and forgive first. Let it go. So that's God's love. How do you know that love, all the other things come in, right? That's why I put love at the bottom. And then empathy, kindness, and compassion. These three things, they look the same, and I always think they're all the same. But they are a bit different. Kindness, bloody old charity like to kindness. Somebody gives you a paper and say, this donation is 10 now. And without thinking you do the 10 now, let's be kind. Emotionally connected to the giving, right? So that's why it's kindness. And the empathy is about now sitting together, trying to understand the person. You pray to him. You share with him, you understand him, my brother, so and you're able to, you can feel the pain that he's feeling. But you don't go further. It's sharing. By sharing, he's able to release his pains, he's able to release his stress, he's or she's able to let go of some of those things. So that's empathy. Compassion is more powerful of those three. With compassion, you go further. Bro, how can I do? What can I do to help you? That's a compassion now. And then, once you go and give, kindness comes in. Kindness, they just do it. Give $1 million, give $1,000. Charities do all the time. Christians do. We do it all the time. I'm not saying they expect. But it's a different thing. But more connected one is the compassion. And then the forgiveness. Now this is the other one. Have you ever seen a politician come to you and say, "Hey bro, I know some people in the vote you do that. You need to go to him. You can help him out. Maybe school for you. Start to vote for such a nobody has said so. I will let go. The ability to forgive, the spirit or the heart to forgive. Jesus said on the cross. Now that was Friday, right? Thursday night they had Last Supper, and Friday come along 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. The spirits are starting going in. The leg is broken, the blood is spilling, the hands are broken, body is still broken, water is flowing, blood is running out, and then he's about to give up and he says, Lord, forgive them. Lord, forgive them. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. That's true. It's coming out of love. And then gentleness is being humble, right? Being lowly, not promoting yourself. Being gentle. And then self-control. I want to talk about self-control. Many of us, I'm one of them. I'm almost 50 now. So I think I'm a bit more control now. I just found out that as you grow, you become more control. More stable. So it's called emotional stability. But for many young people, I was born again. I could really preach. I feel that I'm a Christian. But some of those things, you feel that you haven't let go. And one of them is the ability to control your feelings. Ability to hold back, not releasing unnecessarily. The arguments. Does it ring a bell? In the workplace, somebody comes in and takes over as your boss. Man, I'm supposed to be the boss. Because I want to lie now, and I overlook to you begin to work against the person. Self-control comes from the emotional intelligence. There's a research going on, EQ and IQ. IQ is the intelligence of the brain. EQ is the emotions part. Research is not realizing that EQ is more important, has more influence in your nation than your IQ. In order for you to progress, in order for you to lead, your intelligence is okay, it's great. But if you don't have the emotional aspect of it, that is not good. Because that's the one that connects with people. That's the one that allows you to hear, allows you to connect, allows you to feel. Because leadership is about feeling the feelings of people, connecting with people, influencing people. And if you're not able to hear them, how can you influence? So that's self-control. Self-control is, for young people, that's very, very important for us, for you to learn. Be able to understand yourself. When you're angry, you know that you are angry and then you're able to hold back before you respond. When you're upset, same. And the other aspect is understanding what the other person is feeling so that we can be able to respond appropriately so that you don't create trouble, but settle ways so that you're actually able to cool down the issue that's going on. So self-control is very powerful. And in the Galatians chapter 5:22, I think it's the last of the fruit. The other one that is big is selflessness. And that you know it. Jesus gave his life in servant leadership, people are first. In servant leadership, you focus on people. In servant leadership, them first, it's them. Them first, and you are last. So selflessness, Jesus said it to the disciples, well said, and he demonstrated on the cross. This, Jesus is the ultimate. Jesus is the best example. Courage is the law. Now, I used to think courage and confidence are same things. Confidence is what you have because of your experience. If you're an accountant and if you're given an accounting role or manager role, you come forward, you've been doing it for years. You just, it's this. Get it? Same thing with leadership roles in different areas that you are specialty. If you're taking a role in your special area, specialties, you have comfortable. If you're an engineer or builder like our young man also here, he could take a project and be a project manager easily. He can do that. That's because of experiences built up. Now, Bible talks more about courage than confidence. God said to Moses, be courageous. He said to Joshua, be courageous. He says, Jesus said to his disciples, be courageous. Why? Because courage is something you need in order to do the undone, in order to go to the uncharted waters, in order to do something fearful. Courage is an opposite of fear. In order to do something that you've never done before. That's why God always says, be courageous. Leaders need to be courageous, knowing that God is with you, the dream is true, the passion you have is driven by God, and you are courageous because He is with you and you can pursue it. In the Unity Mall project that we are driving, man, sometimes I feel and I sit there and think, did we come to the right place? Are we doing the right thing? Of all things, I have no idea what supermarket is. Ben has no idea. He's a farmer, but I don't think he knows supermarket business. We have directors who have no clue about supermarket. I think we know how to tackle shops. But what I'm assured of is that what we're doing is driven by purpose and driven by vision that is not ours. And if God said He will provide the resources, He will provide the people, He will provide the money, and He will provide everything. That's why courage is needed. And the second one is what patience is also needed when you come to courageous work. Patience, there's another word called fortitude. Patience is being able to stay on. Stay on. Just hold on until the time is right. Until the waters give way. To persevere. So courage and patience are very powerful for leadership. Courage is when you go into the fireplace and pull out that which is getting burnt, which are your own thinking. that you'll be making out the noise. That's courage. And fortitude or patience is being able to continue under pressure. Just keep going, and just keep going because you know you will come out of it. At the end of it is the light. So patience and courage are two powerful traits that we need. All of these things are in the book. Ephesians 4:8 also mentions some of this. But Jesus had all of this. Jesus had all of this. That's why we must develop these things. I think this is sort of the last slide. If you're tired, just put your hands up. So, the things that I've just said, the traits, character traits, allow you to lead yourself. See, self-leadership must be the first thing before we lead others. Today we have plenty of problems because people who have no idea about leadership, they're not able to lead themselves. Their kids are running around, not able to even lead their own family. I try to lead other people. They are not able to lead themselves, look after themselves, look after their children, look after their wives, look after their husbands, look after their communities, but they want to look after their whole constituency. They want to run the country. Man, that is what the biggest problem is. You must be able to, leadership is about leading the way. So you need to model the way. Leadership is about modeling the way. Jesus said, do it the way I do it. Wash the feet and say, you must do it. And for you to do it, I do it first. That's leadership. That's servant leadership. Modeling the way for others to follow. If you can't do it, how do you expect others to do it? So Jesus demonstrated powerfully. He demonstrates by modeling. And leadership is modeling. If you want somebody to be doing it, you do it first. Plenty of time, we have that big problem. Leaders want other people to do it, and they don't do it themselves. Leadership is about inspiring vision. We must have vision. Leaders have vision and articulate it properly, and so that people are passionate about it, and people can chase the dream together with him or her, the leader. So leadership is about clarity of the vision. Leadership is about being able to clearly articulate the vision so that people behind you are following. So you're actually leading them into the right direction, not looking what's in the balance. And Jesus had a dream, has a vision. And Jesus is a perfect example of that. Challenge the process. Those days, the people had a different mindset. In in the time of Jesus, in Jesus' time. And Jesus said some things that actually brought a paradigm shift in the mind. For example, he said, you were told, thou shalt not murder. I tell you that if you say, I like to kill, you feel like killing, you've already killed. And he said, thou shalt not commit adultery. You have heard, I am telling you, but if you see the person, that woman, and lust after, then you've already committed adultery. As shift in the mindset. In those days, Jesus, the people were thinking that the king was going to come and be the ruler. Instead, Jesus became a different kind of, another kind of kingdom. A spiritual kingdom, an eternal kingdom, an everlasting kingdom, not the same kingdom that they were waiting for. So Jesus brought in a lot of shifts in the thinking, the seven leadership as well. Shifts in the leadership thinking as well. So the leadership is about challenging the process, established processes, and then helping the people to follow. 12 becomes 72, and then today we know 2,000 years later the whole world is evangelized, right? As we're chasing the leadership Jesus provided. We have been influenced. So many, the world has been influenced by him. And leader becomes irrelevant. Jesus is gone. The 12 disciples have gone. The fathers have gone. And we are here still pursuing that. So legacy lives on. That's 7 leadership. Finally, encapsulating the heart to continue the dream, the vision, the purpose, people to push, come along. So that's actually, I picked those up from Leadership Challenge, 5th edition. It's a very good book as well. And we have plenty of very good books from Miles Monroe, John Maxwell, and the others, but this one is also a good book. And they talk about those 5 leadership challenges that leaders need to take up. So you can, there's a digital copy of it as well. I thought it was a good way to see, connect the leadership characters, or personal characters, into how you apply it in the leadership context. Now, when we go from here, this is the last slide. What we're trying to do is to educate or develop leaders, right? So somebody, the President of the United States, said to educate a person in mind and not in moral is to educate a menace to society. And I say the same sort of thing. Education with a character is like giving a machine gun to a madman. Seriously. He can fire anyone but himself. That is a problem we have in this country. Education must give intelligence, but also develop character. And the recent part that we are interested in tonight, I guess, is the development of character. So that character becomes a moral compass so that knowledge can be directed to the right direction so that the society can benefit and all of us can benefit, not misfire and he's the only one surviving and everybody becomes casualties. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to end here and thank you very much. If it was a boring one, I'm trying to do it better next time. Thank you.